Hi guys, welcome to Days Vale. In Days Vale, we're continuing our Kaiser Domination series. And well, the first thing that happens is a Syndicalist Revolt breaks out in Britain. Why? Because they're embarrassed. Because A, they lost a big war, and B, they lost Ireland. Oh yeah, people aren't happy. And they turn to syndicalism, with multiple revolts starting, including all over the place. And even a few up in the north. And well, now let's color in the Loyalists. Yes, the Loyalists control most of the place. But they aren't too strong. We won't focus on what's happening down in Egypt, because nothing really does. And well, let's continue the Syndicalist Revolts a bit. As they connect these two revolutionary areas. And they quickly cut across there and take over big chunks of the south. And a few more rebellions break out. And at this time, we see the Fascist Revolt. And they mostly occur in Wales, Cornwall, and England. Yeah, and they take land over. They also rise up in the north and in Scotland. But quickly, a Scottish revolt breaks out across the north. And well, they quickly cut across here and over here. And eventually, they occupy most of this, with a Welsh revolt breaking out in Wales, and quickly taking over the southern part and northern part of it. And at this point, we see the English Civil War break out. Quickly, England begins to fall. But with the Welsh revolt being mostly attacked by communist forces, putting it down, and fascists take over a bit of land, with them taking over Cornwall. And while the Welsh revolt has been put down, and at this point Scotland declares their independence. And with this is what their border becomes. None of the groups recognize their land here. But they also, loyalists are quite quickly put down in this area, with a Scottish Declaration of Independence. Well, they quickly push fascist forces out and syndicalists, and they arm their border just for protection against the rest of the forces. And they also take over the Isle of Man. And well, this northern revolt gets pushed back by loyalists, and they start pushing back the syndicalist forces. And well, at this point, the fall of England begins. You have the syndicalist forces taking over most of the northern part, and them pushing up and taking London. Quickly after this, fascist rebels try to take as much as they can. But at this point, we see the, syndicalist forces push south, connecting the front, and well, this is where the fall of the fascist forces begin. And at this point, well, the war ends with a syndicalist victory as the last of the fascist forces surrender, with them having a goal of taking back Scotland, but right now they're planning to remilitarize to take back what they believe is theirs. But in France, groups like this, like fascists and communists, are starting to gain support. And it looks like they're going to end up at war. But at this point, Germany begins its invasion of Austria. Yes, their puppet. They begin to invade it after they asked for them to join them. They refused, so it turns out to be, well, a full-on invasion. And, well, it's the War of Austrian Annexation. And German forces quickly head to two places: Vienna and Prague, with them quickly moving in this front and getting quickly down to Prague, which they come out from the south to launch an encirclement and come out here. You get more forces in. This leads to the fall of Prague and the fall of these two areas, with a force here heading towards Austria and a force from here and a force from here, with these two connecting with them pushing right to Vienna, where they lead an encirclement. Well, these two areas fall, and then eventually the Battle of Vienna leads to a German victory. The Austrian forces continue fighting for a bit, but at this point, this area ends up surrendering, leading to the surrender of Austria, and with this, Austria ends up annexed, with the German Empire greatly expanding. And, well, there's another annexation. And, well, the annexation of Austria was a complete success, and now the German Empire has greatly expanded. But some nations are becoming increasingly unstable. And, well, with this annexation being a success, it leads to the formation of Arabia, Iraq. And, well, you can see Egypt is hoping to annex that in the future, and Bulgaria is starting to think about joining the Central Powers, even though they have possibilities to join. They want to expand, but towards Albania in the future and other things. And, well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and until you subscribe. Bye!